Okay, Bitcoin and UFOs. What do Bitcoin and UFOs have in common? Well, let's talk about it. Bitcoin is something that is called a form of a cryptocurrency that works through something that I think is called blockchain. And as I've been looking at it more and more recently, I've started realizing, as I was hearing the different experts talking about this, I think they call it a cryptocosm, the blockchain model, where all of the information is decentralized and it is spread through everybody's computer instead of being located in some centrally controlled mainframe. And the thing that I've noticed is that in order to be able to successfully use this blockchain, or the blockchains of the future, not so much the cryptocurrency of today, because they want to use blockchain for everything. I mean everything. The whole idea is to be able to move this into a universal model. And they've got a lot of people on board with this, and a lot of people think that this is the best thing since sliced bread. And one of the things that always kind of concerned me is that if the people that are currently using it are using it to escape the attention of the authorities or the Internal Revenue Service, and they're using it for nefarious activities, why is not the system squashing this thing like a bug? And I'm starting to see, when I heard that one of the main problems of blockchain is to be able to figure out a way for you to be able to identify yourself. And once I started hearing more and more about that, I started realizing that they want to use your DNA as the means by which you can prove your identity in a absolute form. So the thought occurred to me as a Bible reading person, and you please check out my channel, Bible Pearls, and we address different issues, and we're starting to make more and more videos about the Bible. And the thing that occurred to me right away is this thing fits the description of the mark of the beast. What could be a better mark of the beast than your personal DNA? And what would evil people want more than to know everybody's DNA? Can you imagine the power that gives the people that control or have access to all of this information? This whole situation is very disturbing, and I think it needs a lot of analysis before anybody moves forward with it. It's not like as if we're in dire circumstances and we have a system that doesn't work. We have a system that works fairly well, and we live in a country that seems to work better than just about any other country on the planet. So why is it that everybody's in such a hurry to make a wonderful solution for a problem that really doesn't exist? So you ask yourself, what is the connection between Bitcoin and blockchain and UFOs? Well, I think the connection is that they're both deceptions. That this is a deception in the making, just like the whole concept of UFOs is kind of a deception. Because every time you see anything about UFOs, they always have to make a connection that this is some kind of an extraterrestrial visitation, or there are extraterrestrials involved with these UFO sightings. And I think that that's baloney, because from all of these years of not being able to see, let's put it this way, if there are extraterrestrials involved with these UFOs, then they are so good at doing what they're doing and hiding from us that we'll never be able to find out who they are. And if we're never going to be able to find out who they are, there's no sense in wasting time over the subject. But what I think really is happening here, and this is just theory on my part, is that During the 30s and 40s, especially when Nikola Tesla made his contributions, a lot of which disappeared after he died, that the Nazis in Germany made a conscious decision. This is just a theory on my part, that they made a conscious decision to be able to focus on this anti-gravity technology, which is very similar to something that is on the internet already that's called the Searle effect. I believe it's Searle possibly. This gentleman, who's very old now, I think he's still with us, but he's very old, and he made a device where where it doesn't actually lift up off the ground, but what happens is when it spins around with its magnetic forces, they measured the weight of it decreases significantly, like in half, and there's surrounded by a lower temperature. And it certainly seems like as if it's an indicator of the technology that is moving in the direction of what could have been used and maybe is used in these flying discs or whatever technologies they have out there, triangles, which probably is a flying machine that has 3 different discs built into each corner that enables the triangle to fly. But that's just a guess on my part. So that's another thing that makes me wonder, why is John Searle, this old guy, why did he live to a ripe old age? Whereas a lot of other people that have made connections between something like hydrogen, to be able to make hydrogen out of water, most of them died under mysterious circumstances, and the ones that did not die, they refused to talk about their discovery of making hydrogen out of water. And I think the reason is because making hydrogen out of water is probably something that a lot of different people could, with enough technical abilities and some facilities could make it happen. Whereas the Searle device, I think that is a much more difficult thing for the average Joe to do, probably because of the fine tolerances in the machining and the, I think they call them essential elements that are used, rare earth elements that are used in its production. So the authorities are not that afraid that the average Joe is going to make a UFO or a Searle device or a free energy device. By the way, this is all about free energy. So that is one of the main reasons why, the government will never release what it knows about this technology. So we concentrated on the Manhattan Project, and we developed a nuclear bomb, and we ended up winning the war, and the Germans made the wrong choice. They went after the anti-gravity technology, and it didn't get them where they wanted to go. We won, they lost, but after we won, we went in there and we took all of the secrets and all the research that they did, and you notice that most of your UFO sightings started during and after World War II. So the thing they have in common is deception. I think that blockchain is a deception, and it's getting the world ready for a higher level of control that is going to make life much more miserable for humanity. And I also think that UFOs and the fact that they're being kept secret, and the fact that the authorities in the world control this technology, are not allowing the world to benefit from it is also has to do with control. Because once energy is virtually for free, the system will have much less control over the average person. And so control and deception are the 2 common threads here. The one thing is done to be able to get more control over you, and the other thing is they're not going to reveal to you the technology they have, because they will lose control that they currently have. So that's the theory. If you're interested in responding, please respond to my Bible Pearls email address, which is biblepearls2@gmail.com. And thanks for listening.